In my experience, the problem is, I mean, because I'm a Princeton University undergrad. I got my MBA from the Wharton School of Business in Philadelphia, two supposedly premier training camps for the leaders, and they're not. They're managerial camps, is what they are, right? They're great at logic and critical thinking and analysis and all the tools of the manager.
Yeah.
And I don't want to turn this into a whole anti-manager thing. Both are important. Great managers and great leaders working together, they can really go far together really, really quickly. And you have seen that on occasion, sort of thing. But the problem is that, someone like a Gordon Brown in this country is a great example, in my opinion, taking it to the political, where he must have been one of the most powerful men in British politics. Maybe not in history, because I don't know that far back, but certainly in modern politics, in terms of his total command of via the Treasury, of course.
Yeah.
But his ego just had, I have to get the top job. I promised myself, what in my mind is I have to be called PM.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And the moment he took that job, it was a disaster.
Hmm.
And it wasn't because all the Blairites, whoever, were like sabotaging him and things. I'm sure they weren't supporting him that much, but it was, and I think that was, to me, a great example of a manager not knowing that they're great at managing a machine, but they need someone else to do the politicking, doing the free range stuff of convincing people that we're headed the right way and being able to connect with people at an emotional level and building trust and all those other good things. And I think, so if you're a manager wanting to be a leader, then you actually need to learn the tools of leadership. It's not something that like people are just born with. I mean, I know that supposedly I'm sure there are a tiny percentage of people who are born leaders, right? But I think a lot of other people become leaders. I mean, you see this with entrepreneurs all the time. People who, they may not have started as a great leader, but by surviving the journey of entrepreneurship, they oftentimes become much better. They become better at communicating. They become better at connecting to, whether it be customers or employees or partners or whoever. They realize how much the value, their integrity, and that people can trust their word is such an important, part of achieving anything, right? Especially as a leader, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And so I genuinely think, and also, it's just being an entrepreneur means that, you have to take some level of genuine risk, right? Both, whether it be financially or to your reputation, because you're starting up this company, this cafe, this whatever, and you could fail, and everyone's going to know, oh, little Peter failed at this thing, right? And going through that baptism of fire, I think, is a really important thing, because, again, most leaders, people who are called leaders, who are actually managers, they just go through the track of, they're typically born in a good family that are generally relatively wealthy. They then go to a decent school. They then go to a decent university. They then get onto some sort of good, fast tracking leadership thing, or so on and so forth. And never once do they actually ever face any genuine, real risk to themselves. You know? They're never put through it. They call hardship, I had to stay up late,
exactly,
doing exams or papers or whatever sort of thing, like, come on, And so, anyways, yeah. So that's to me one of the key things I think that we're lacking in our world, just generally. Certainly, the wealthier the country, the more this is true, is actual leadership anymore.
Yeah.
And I think, again, if you look at companies, if you look at Google today, right? I mean, in the earliest days before Google, anyone knew what Google was, right? They all they had was basic. I mean, they had a bit of technology, but they mostly had to start. And of course, most startups don't even have a bit of technology like Google. All they have is an idea.
Yeah.
Right. And so, in order for that idea to attract attention, they have to wrap a good narrative and story around it, right?
Yeah.
As part of it, to attract investment, to attract, so forth. But then let's eventually say they get rich, which obviously Google has done pretty well on that score, I think, right? And the Google today and the Google of, back in the, say, whatever you want to pick, 2010, 15, 20, it's a lot different. And it's because it's become largely led by management.